Hey folks, and welcome back. If you have been wondering why the Jewish folks and those who follow the Pharisees have started their 7th month 2 days earlier than some others, Devorah's date tree, sent out an email explaining it really well. And if you're interested, I'll read it to you. She says, "Dear friends, if you have been following our new moon reports, then you know the new moon wasn't visible in Israel until Tuesday, the 27th of September, 2022. So how is it that the Rabbinites began the month on Sunday, September the 25th, 2 evenings earlier? The answer is simple. The Rabbinites don't follow the biblical calendar. Instead, they follow a calendar they established in 359 CE, known as the Hillel II calendar. The reason they created the Hillel II calendar is because they were in exile at the time and therefore had no way of knowing whether the crescent new moon was visible or the barley was ripe. And so they couldn't follow the biblical calendar. So instead, they created a fixed calendar which resembled the biblical calendar in the sense that it has leap years every 2 to 3 years, and the months are loosely based on a lunar cycle. But it's important to understand that the Hillel II is not based on the sighting of the new moon or the ripening of the barley. So if the Hillel II calendar doesn't begin the months based on the sighting of the new moon, how do they determine the beginning of the 7th month? They begin the 7th month based on conjunction, which, to remind you, is before it's possible to sight the new moon. Why conjunction? Because they could calculate the moment of conjunction, but couldn't predict which evening the new moon would be visible. For the sake of accuracy, I was told that our calendar, Hillel II calendar, is not exactly based on the actual conjunction, but starts Tishrei, the 7th month, not less than 6 hours after the mean conjunction. It is true that the calculated mean conjunction is currently 2 hours later than it should be. Our calendar, Hillel II calendar, is designed to be easy enough to calculate manually while ensuring that it is highly unlikely that the moon will appear a day before Rosh Hashanah, Yom Teruah. It's important to understand that the Hillel II calendar not only begins the 7th month based on conjunction, but they also adjust when the 7th month will begin in order to ensure Yom Kippur and Rosh and Hoshana Rabbah, the rabbinic name for the 7th day of Hag HaSukkot, don't fall out on days which would prevent them from carrying out their sacred rabbinic traditions, not biblical traditions, I would add. What do I mean? Well, they explain that if Yom Kippur fell out on a Friday, they wouldn't be able to perform the rabbinic custom of lighting candles before Shabbat, as Yom Kippur is like a Shabbat, and so you can't use fire. If Yom Kippur fell out on a Sunday, they wouldn't be able to make preparations for Yom Kippur because the preceding day would be a Shabbat. I think they might be referring to preparing a nice meal to eat before the fast or showering. And if Hoshana Rabbah, the rabbinic name for the 7th day of Hag HaSukkot, fell out on Shabbat, they wouldn't be able to perform the rabbinic custom of bringing willow fronds to the synagogue and beating them on the ground, as this would go against their prohibition for the Sabbath. Their prohibition, not the biblical laws. Another important distinction between the biblical calendar and the Hillel II calendar when it comes to the 7th month is that in the biblical calendar, Yom Teruah, the Feast of Trumpets, is observed the first day of the 7th month. Those are your biblical references. Whereas the rabbinites celebrate what they call Rosh Hashanah, New Year's, the first 2 days of the seventh month. I'm not going to get into the whole problem of the Rabbinites celebrating New Year's in the seventh month right now. I just wanted to bring to your attention that the Rabbinites are celebrating 2 days as opposed to 1 day. I hope this brief explanation was helpful in understanding why the Rabbinites began this month 2 days early. And then she concludes. All right, I hope this helped, and like I say over and over, let Yahweh's will be done on earth as it is in the heavens, not man's ways. Bless you all.
Always there, but the holidays are like fresh celebrations. Okay, so we declare the moon. So when we make it a chok for us, a statue, God considers it a judgment for him. He waits to hear what we're saying. So people have twisted. It's terrible.